Anybody else? All right, the time is 5:05 p.m. and this public hearing is closed.
Excuse me, Judge, I came in late. Can I address the court at a time on my budget? Am I sitting on that?
We gave the opportunity, but
I wasn't here, I wasn't aware.
what do you mean you weren't aware?
I just walked in.
You weren't aware that we had a public hearing? You just walked by and walked in?
If I haven't,
No, I'll give you the opportunity, but you were aware.
I thought,
Very well, sir, come on.
thank you. Yes, I'd like to talk to
Scratch
all
the, hold on, sir. Scratch the time, 5:05. We have a gentleman that's gonna address the court.
How much time do I have?
Time that you want?
Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to address the budget of the D's office. I sent out a letter dated June 30th to the Honorable Judge, members of the commission. We're requesting an increase to $550,000 from $415,000. The reason for this is, of course, because of the situation in Maverick County. We do have a need for additional resources to be able to adequately prosecute cases at the felony level. We have been at $415,000 for about 3 or 4 years. As some of you know, there may be another district attorney's office in Maverick County, but that's not going to happen until 2 years from now, but because of the constitutional statute that's in place. But till then, we have the 293rd only that's going to serve solid limit in Maverick. We have a tremendous amount of cases that need work. We need secretaries. We need investigators. We need paralegals. We've been at $415,000 for, I would say, 3 or 4 years. And we appreciate that, of course. But we think that it's reasonable because of the rising crime here in Maverick County, the population growth in Maverick County, Eagle Pass. I think they require that we not defund, in essence, through the back door, law enforcement. By not increasing and adjusting the D's office budget, you're defunding the police. Because you can have a sheriff's office with $5 million, but if you don't have a D's office that's able to prosecute their cases, you might as well cut his budget to 0. Because in terms of felony cases, the only office that can prosecute felony cases is the DA's office. And we can only prosecute felony cases if we have adequate funding. Now, we're stuck in a situation that is not uncommon for South Texas. But we're in a unique situation where I think there was even some discussion in the past about Maverick County funding their own DA's office, which is fine. If it's necessary, we'll do it. But there was also, I think, some comments about county commissioners being able to find the funds somewhere. But I'm asking you to find those funds somewhere to get us to 550 so we can hire the secretaries that we need, the paralegals that we need, so that we can prosecute these cases that need prosecuting. And I'm not trying to pick a fight. I'm not here for that. I'm just trying to state the facts, bring you the facts as they are, they exist. And if you don't fund the DA's office, and this is not to be said in a sharp way at all, but if you don't fund the DA's office, you might as well defund the police, because that's what you're doing. Inadvertently or not wanting to do so, that's the end result. The people that are going to suffer are the citizens of Maverick County. Not me, not the DA's office. I'm going to be overworked. I already am overworked. The people that are going to suffer are the people in Precinct 1, Precinct 2, Precinct 3, Precinct 4, and Maverick County. We have a major problem that started back in May of 2020 when the pandemic hit that substantially increased the use of meth in Maverick County, Eagle Pass. That led to a significant increase in burglaries and property crimes. And I've never seen Maverick County as violent as it is now. And certain factors or reasons for this is because of the pandemic. There's been a change in the emotional feelings of people dealing with the pandemic, and also because of the influx of immigrants coming across from foreign countries. Now, we do have a problem. We do have maybe a need maybe a need for the County of Maverick to have their own DA's office, but like I said, that will not be possible till January the 1st, 2025, because of the constitutional law that we have in the books, on the books. But as of now, you know, if, not funding the DA's office, not giving us money to effectively and properly investigate and prosecute felony cases, you're only hurting your families, your neighborhoods, your schools, your communities, your churches. Those are the people that are being hurt, not me. Or not the DA's office. You're hurting the people that you took an oath to represent, because they're the ones that are going to suffer the impact.
Good.
Thank you. Those are the people that are going to suffer the impact of the Commissioner's Court not properly funding the DA's office. And again, I'm not here to really argue. I'm just bringing you the truth, the facts. If you really care about your constituents, the people that voted you into office to represent them, then I do suggest that you provide us with the funding that they need in order to protect their children, in order to protect their schools, in order to protect their churches, their communities, because they're the ones that are going to pay the price for us not being able to effectively prosecute felony crime. And for these reasons, I'm suggesting, respectfully, that you seriously consider raising the budget for the District Attorney's Office from $415,000 to $550,000. Any questions?
May I?
Yes.
Sure.
How many staff do you have in your office?
Pardon?
How many staff do you have in your office?
Staff, we have the what's called the BPU. The Border Prosecution Unit is comprised of an assistant district attorney, a secretary, and an administrator, and an investigator. On the DA side, we have 2 ADAs. We have 1, 2, 3, 5 secretaries, and then we have 4 investigators. Two of them are directly for Maverick County, and we're wanting to add a 3rd investigator to deal specifically with Maverick County as well. Because Maverick County, I don't know if you've seen the numbers, but there was a serious decrease in population in Zavala and Dimmitt. They went to less than 10,000, both of them. And I believe there was an undercount here in Maverick, because I think Maverick is over 60,000. But I think it came back at about 58.5. But I think that's an undercount. I think we're well over 60,000. And well, to answer your question, those are our employees.
So you have a total of 4, and then 2, 5, in total 15 employees?
I believe so, yes, ma'am.
15
Yes.
in your office?
Yes, ma'am. If I may elaborate, the BPU, Border Prosecution Unit, is only allowed to handle border crime. So that deals specifically only with drug cases and cases associated with border crime. That's the Border Prosecution Unit. And that's funded through funded through Governor Abbott's office. And this year, it was funded for a 2-year period. But what we need is people to investigate murders. There's been an increase of an unacceptable increase of child abuse, sexual assault, and I think the main reason for that is because not intentionally. I'm not accusing you of doing anything intentionally, but intentionally we have effectively defunded the police. We have defunded law enforcement. We have cut off the legs of prosecution. If you don't give the prosecutor, the district attorney, the authority to prosecute these cases, you're going to have more sexual assaults. You're going to have more people calling you on your cell phone saying, my daughter was assaulted. What are you going to do about it? Our hands are tied. You're going to have more violent crimes, and that has happened. That has increased in all 4 precincts. You've had more violent crimes. You've had murders in all precincts, and it's not going to stop unless we put a stop to it. And the only way that you can put a stop to the rising crime of Maverick County is if you properly fund law enforcement. prosecution. You don't fund this, we're doomed. We're gonna have rising crime rate. We're gonna have serious issues with drug abuse, substance abuse. It's gonna happen. Without this funding, your constituents, the people that voted for you, are the ones that are gonna pay the price. They're the ones that are gonna suffer. And that's why I'm here. I don't like coming here to beg for money. I'm not doing that. But I do feel an obligation and a duty to the constituents that reside here in Maverick County to bring this serious problem to your attention, because this is us. This is Maverick County. This is Precinct 2, Precinct 1, Precinct 3, Precinct 4. We have to do something. And if we don't properly fund the D's office, might as well not have a sheriff's office. Not gonna, I mean, what good is it do to arrest somebody if you can't prosecute for a felony? Why do it? Might as well just close it down. And for these reasons, I'm asking that you seriously consider an increase in budget for us to be able to have adequate staff to represent your constituents, your people.
Go ahead.
How many cases do you prosecute in a yearly percentage? On a yearly with your 15 employees that you have? How many investigators you have? 4?
Pardon?
Investigators, you have 4?
Yes.
More or
Two.
less, how many cases do you prosecute on a yearly base? I mean, percentage, more or less.
Oh, that's hard to say. For example, we have a docket on Friday, and on Friday's docket with Judge Flores, I counted 85 cases. And that's just for Friday, September 3rd. And that's in Maverick County. Now, is that all of them? No, that's only the 293rd. That's the 365th. I don't know how many we're going to have, but only in the 293rd, we have, whatever they're set for, we have 85 cases set as we speak today. That's huge. That's huge. And sometimes we have 2 courts now. So sometimes we have court in the 365th and 293rd. It cuts us in half. Basically, we're being obliterated by criminals. Maverick County is being invaded by criminals. They're winning the war against crime because we're not adequately funding law enforcement. That's where we're losing. That's why you're having thefts in your community. That's why you're having these sexual assaults going on. This is why you're having these aggravated assaults and murders going on, because we're not adequately funding and defending our constituents. We're not.
Yes.
So you're requesting 135,000
Yes.
more than last year,
Yes.
and you've been at the same budget amount for the past 3 years, you said?
I believe so. Judge can confirm that, but I believe it's, Your Honor, it's at 3 or 4 years already.
2 years.
2 years, I apologize, 2 years.
2 years.
This would be the
You
third year.
used to get 400.
And you'll be able to disperse investigators with that funding that you're asking, or personnel, basically?
Yes, Commissioner, the plan is to hire at least another investigator and some more secretaries, maybe a paralegal, if we find one that's qualified.
Okay.
We need to help law enforcement. I'm talking about the sheriff's office. We need to work hand in hand. We need to provide more services to the sheriff's office, but we can't do it with the hands tied. We need this extra funding. If we were able to get another investigator for Maverick County, we could substantially help the sheriff's office in doing their work. And I'm not criticizing their work.
Well, that does kind of sound like you're criticizing his work.
Well, that's a matter of
I
opinion.
know
Judge.
that they do an excellent job, and I've dealt with the investigators there as far as their workloads are concerned. But let's not turn this into a whole thing. Talk about your department. He knows what
Well-
he needs to do.
Well, Judge, they're intertwined. They're not separate.
Everything's intertwined. This budget is intertwined.
Well, I know. So
Because if you pull from one, it's going to go somewhere else.
I know. And I'm asked. That's what
So
I'm asking.
I'm also going to make the statement, and I'm glad that you asked that question. This request is exorbitant compared to other years. Members that have been on this court will tell you the same thing. You're looking to increase a budget by almost 30% in one year or the other. Tell me what other departments are doing that.
Well,
Well, hold on now, because you're saying defunding the police.
you
What
are.
is it?
I believe you
I'm
are.
not finished. I'm gonna give you the opportunity, but we're answering these questions here. Defunding the police, are we lowering the amount that's been given to this office? Is that being proposed there? No, not at all.
What I'm saying, Judge, is we need an increase. We can't stay frozen for 3 years in a row. We can't do that.
No one is trying to freeze you, but you're also coming back
That's
at
the-
the worst year that this county has had.
Judge,
Financially.
you just hired a water planner for $58,000.
A what, sir?
A water planner or a county planner for $58,000. You're giving an increase to your precincts,
What's a water planner?
well, whatever he is.
Purchasing department.
I mean, there's
Purchasing
other
hasn't
monies
been
that are
hired.
available from other sources.
No, he's talking about the water plan manager that Ms. Ramos hired in the
Right.
last meeting, or an assistant plan manager.
$15
Right.
an hour.
So then he's off.
I was here at the last meeting. I believe that's what I heard. Correct me if I'm
From
wrong.
precinct 3, no?
He was
Yeah,
for
precinct
precinct,
That's in
three.
your precinct, Ms. Ramos.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
for her precinct.
Any other commentary?
Not at this time, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Have a good one.
You too.
Since he's left, Mr. Riecheta's gotten here, Mr. Cifuentes has gotten here. Do you all have any comments to make?